Well, Brad, we are in the thick of it. We're ready to end the season. No, nothing going on, right? We just got football for the next week, right? We got everything's normal.
Oh, um, nah, bro. It's another international break.
Oh man, this is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from a number of friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that is Brad. He supports Chelsea. We are missing Sean this evening or this day, whenever you're listening. He is unwell, so
We
maybe,
wish him well.
well, maybe he's not unwell. We'll have to see if he's just hiding, based on some results that
Oh,
we'll get into here on this here podcast.
is
But
he,
before we dig into that too deeply, we do ask that if you're new here, if you stumbled across us, if you could hit that subscribe button, if you could hit that sub notification bell on YouTube, if you're on one of the podcast sites, hit it with a follow, 5-star review, any of that stuff that can help us. Drop a comment on YouTube. Just we're still Operation Trick Google, fighting the algorithm. Share, put it on your socials, all those good things. Really does help us out tremendously. And so, without further ado, Brett, what
yes.
have we got going on tonight? We've got some comments from last video that we need to talk about. We've got a recap essentially of some FA Cup and Premier League matches, and then I don't know if you saw this yet, but the PGMOL had one of their fancy Howard Webb, Michael Owen circle jerks where they
Oh,
just they just rubber stamp everything that the PGMOL says. So, uh,
so I know I did not, but I am interested in how that affects our debate or our conversation where we all agreed on
yes,
the thing that happened in the City Liverpool game. I,
yes,
I I did not see this. I did not know it came out.
yeah.
I have been hard at work for a week straight.
It just came out a few hours ago at time of recording, so that would be Tuesday in the states, kind of mid afternoon. And when it came out, so I haven't seen it all, but I've seen the relevant highlights for the portion that's important to us. So essentially, the part that we care about is the Doku non-call against McAllister in the Manchester City Liverpool match, where Doku comes up and uh,
Blast him.
it's hard to characterize it as a blast, but he certainly the base of his foot, like the bottom of his foot, the studs of his feet, come and make contact on McAllister's pectoral muscle. Um, so
Yes.
that kind of gives you an idea of where his foot is and the orientation of his foot, perhaps. Um, and it was in
Yeah.
just inside the penalty area, so it would have been a penalty. But so Trey in the comments agrees that it's probably a penalty, but he won't lose any sleep over it due to Salah's masterclass in diving. Oof,
And and being a City fan.
oof, that's
But he did admit to the penalty, so that's huge for him. That's huge for City's fans.
masterclass in diving. Well, that's an impressive it's an impressive claim. So, I mean, I've seen some diving against Arsenal in the past, so like I can't hate on it. Um, Now we did seek out the definitive response from Red Card Radio's in-house refereeing expert. That would be Mr. Jack, Jimmy's son. And so I have a snippet of the conversation that was relayed to us. And so Jack tells his father, it's a penalty. Jimmy says, well, why? Jack, well, because he kicked him in the chest. That's not the ball. So loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, there you have it. Jack has ruled that is a penalty. It's a foul. Um, Jack didn't go and say it's a red card. We're not
Oh
sure.
no, it would be a yellow card, so it's not double jeopardy. My
Yeah,
bad. Red card, no. Yellow card, yes.
yeah. So that's that. It's settled. Now, the context that is maybe more interesting for Premier League watchers is that the PGMOL and Michael Owen released their video this week, and they went through all of like the kind of questionable decisions between match week, I think 26 and 29, I believe was the time frame. They essentially do this like every international break. Whenever there's an international
Yeah.
break, they drop one of these. And so the relevant aspect is that the VARs, it seemed like their argument was that Doku got the ball and then McAllister came into Doku's foot.
Wow.
That seemed like their rationale when they're talking about it. And then Howard Webb kind of came out and was like, "Look, because Michael Oliver made a decision on the field, the incident didn't reach the level of clear and obvious. So we don't want to be relitigating the game. We don't want to be re-refereeing the game. So that's why they quickly decided check complete." And you just sat there and you're like,
Wow.
well,
What is the point of VAR? Can we just abolish it then? Just get rid of it.
it's this clear and obvious tagline. It's funny because like it's sometimes a crutch for them and sometimes it's a shield for them where they'll be like, well, this is yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
they use it both ways.
Oh, 100%. McAllister ran into his foot. Yes. What?
Yeah,
When
it's
does that matter? Okay, okay. So look, so let's apply this to the Romero
yeah,
Enzo foul. Yeah, Enzo ran into his foot. You should have been a red card.
yeah, it seemed
We'll
pretty
see.
dubious in my opinion.
Now with that comment, we'll know if Sean listened to the pod this week or not.
Yeah,
Little Easter egg for him.
drop a comment down below, Sean, if you want to relitigate the Romero red card. Um,
Based on our new information.
yes, yeah, exactly,
But
precisely.
but also VAR doesn't want to wait, VAR did re-referee that call. It wasn't a red on the field, was it? I forget. I gotta go back and watch.
And obviously, it was a clear and obvious error, so that's why
Yeah.
they needed to fix it. Um,
Yep.
so
That's when they get involved.
I don't know. I don't know what to really make of that, other than I think that they're wrong. I think that Michael Oliver was wrong on the field. I think that the VAR was wrong to not overturn or at least have Michael Oliver take a second look at it. Um, and so, I mean,
He's protecting his boys, bro. That's what this is. He's protecting his boys because they made a stupid decision. He can't say, "Hey, we made a stupid decision."
yeah. So I just generally I just think they're wrong. But I guess it doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what they think.
You
Um,
know, that kind of sounds like what my when I was playing devil's advocate, not that I agreed with it, part of this and that, hey, this was like a last second, last minute of the game. Do you want to blow your whistle and have it decided by a penalty type of an argument is what it sounds like. Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, but based on what you told me,
that
it
actually
kind of sounds like he's looking for a way to say, uh,
that did come up. Michael Owen did ask Howard Webb, like, well, is this different because it's the 98th minute instead of the 8th minute? Like, do you think that this would have been refereed differently? Like you've refed big games before, Howard Webb. Like, do you change? And so Howard Webb was kind of like, it does, like, whenever it comes to penalties. He kept saying, whenever it comes to penalty situations, and especially in games of this magnitude, you're looking for certainty. And if you don't have certainty, then you can't call. And I'm just like, sure, like I don't disagree with your logic that like you should be certain that a certain situation is a foul, but at the same time, like being like, oh well, a game of this magnitude, you're like, well, like literally every game matters in the Premier League. Like
right.
I'm pretty sure that Burnley and Brentford think that their game is pretty massive, or West Ham Aston Villa probably thought their game was very massive. It's
Yep.
so just because it's Manchester City Liverpool and there's title implications, like that's crap to me. That
Oh, yeah.
that game has more magnitude.
No.
Um,
Now, you know what game was massive this week?
yeah, tell me, Brad.
Fulham versus Spurs in that
Oh
London
man,
derby.
yeah. So
I'm
let's
going
let's
EPL before FA Cup because I
I
think,
yeah
we are a Premier League
yeah
pod.
yeah yeah yeah
We're just covering FA Cup this week
for
because there's
sure.
not a lot of stuff.
We will, loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, we will go over the point totals just here
Oh,
at the
yes.
end. We'll recap. We'll finish with the point totals. But yes, okay. Um, wh-
That was
so Fulham wins the game 3-0. Um,
yes.
if I could, like maybe like paraphrase, that's not the best word. If I could characterize Sean's sentiment to us in our text message after the game, it was just, I don't know what I just saw. This is not the same Spurs that I've been watching over the last 7 months. They are apathetic and lazy. This was the worst performance I've seen Spurs put in all year. Do you think that's fair? Was that a good characterization?
Sure, maybe, but not really. Because, like, look, we said this at the beginning. I think we, like, at the very beginning of the season, I said it, and I think Sean, I think you also agreed in that this is Ange ball. Like, there's going to be games that you win for nothing, and there's going to be games that you lose for nothing. And it's like you're going to go for it, and sometimes it's gonna fall, and sometimes it's gonna not. But yeah, no, their attack was poor. Um, you know what? You know what? This is another one for Sean and Tammy if he listens. It just seemed like Tottenham couldn't recycle the ball at all to get attacks going.
Your boy Timo Werner missed a sitter on at the 6 yard block. Like he missed a sitter, bro. It was
is
prime Timo Werner at Chelsea.
is anybody shocked he missed that sitter?
Maybe just him and Ange Postacoglu. Um,
Maybe that's because Ange didn't watch him in England. Look, Timo in Germany can hit that all day, every day. 19 times out of 20, he's nailing that on, or he's barely missing it. That one time, he's barely missing it. Bruh, he missed that kick. He missed that goal as bad as Sterling did.
no, okay.
Um,
I was gonna make that joke, and Werner's miss was not
look,
nearly as
based
bad as Sterling's free kick.
based on distances,
No, no,
he was much
no,
closer to the goal, and he
no.
missed.
I
I
refuse. We will get
mm,
into this in a second.
we will.
Um, but so my thought process coming into this weekend, especially in the Premier League, was that a lot of these teams are exhausted. They're tired. Like they played a lot of games.
Mhm.
It's late in the season. Everyone's just kind of got their eye towards the international break, get a couple
Yep.
days off away from the training session. So everything would be kind of maybe a little bit flat. And maybe there would be a lot of draws this week. I mean, obviously, I picked 4 draws in the Premier League this weekend. And as
That too.
obviously I wasn't correct because Fulham shellacked Spurs. Um, and so I
They
I
were
don't
all good goals. They were not all good goals.
it
One was
just
like a rebound goal, but like they played better. Like Fulham deserved this victory. Let me put that out
certainly.
there.
Yeah,
But
I don't disagree.
if Werner hits his goal, they had a couple of other chances. So it wasn't like Tottenham were totally inept, not doing anything. They just couldn't finish
Yeah.
on on the couple of chances that they did have.
It was a very, very bad result for Spurs
Yes.
until the following day there was West Ham Aston Villa.
Yes.
And that game ended 1-1. So essentially, if you think about the fight for fourth, Aston Villa have a 3 point lead on Tottenham, and I believe it's equal numbers of games played at this point. Oh
Mm-mm.
no, do Spurs still have a game in hand? The Chelsea game.
Spurs still have to play Chelsea.
That's right.
Chelsea have 2 games in hand now. Mm.
That's because only
Oh,
some.
Arsenal.
Well, no, some of the game. Arsenal. What are you talking about? No,
Our
but
Chelsea Arsenal game got postponed.
but that's the future, bro. That hasn't happened yet. We haven't missed that
Oh,
game yet because it hasn't happened yet. It's because you guys played in the FA Cup this weekend,
right.
and so you had the Spurs game that got moved for whatever reason months ago or a month ago,
Yep.
whenever it was. And then you this weekend, you could have played this weekend, but you didn't because of the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, I was Brighton.
Yes, so that was the reason why you have 2 games on Villa.
We have 3 games and we'll have a total of 3 games in hand with Arsenal. The
They've
Arsenal game.
they've already set the date for the Arsenal game though, haven't they?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you looking at the Premier League website?
I am on the Premier League website right now.
Fixtures to be confirmed. Okay. Well, that's gonna get confirmed. Anyway, I digress. Where am I? Yeah, so Villa failing to capitalize on that loss from Spurs really does throw that top 4 race wide open.
It
Now, Manchester United are still lurking, kind of. If Spurs win their game in hand, they'll essentially, and United then win their game in hand on Villa. There's a 6 point gap between United and Villa slash Spurs. Now, if interesting. I wanted to look this up. If Spurs win their game in hand 1-0, then they will have a completely even record with
even.
Aston Villa. Goals scored, goals against be exactly the same, which is really intriguing.
Yeah, that goes to head, right?
Yeah, which I don't know Well, actually, I don't know. I think I don't know what it is. I don't off the top of my head with the. But
Oh,
anyway,
we'll have to
but
look.
but 6 points with um what is that,
But
nine games remaining? That's not outside the realm of possibility for Manchester United to sneak that fourth position. That's not outside the realm of possibility. Um, I think it's a three
but
horse race. I think it's really up to Villa and Spurs to grab it, but I don't think United are quite dead yet in that race.
all right, so that's 6 points in 9 games, assuming, United wins their game in hand.
Yeah, yeah. We're assuming wins for everyone in
Yeah.
this theory.
Not
Right.
that, Tottenham's game in hand is, confirmed to be a
Cer-
dub because they're gonna lose it. But
oh, I mean, Chelsea will have a part to play in a lot of these conversations because they play. I think Chelsea play almost everyone, maybe with the exception of like
Liverpool and City.
Liverpool and City. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Chelsea will have a large say and a big opportunity for Chelsea to meet their goals if they win those games with the teams ahead of them. Um,
Yeah, I mean, also, I don't think the fight is for 4th anymore.
I think it's fifth.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 5th gets Champions League football, which means we just have to get to 7th
That's unfortunate for
for
England.
Europa League.
Well,
Huh? What do you
what
mean? We have 5 teams in Champs League.
what I'm saying is that the Champions League draw was unfortunate for England
Oh, yeah.
because it put Arsenal and City as potential matchup in the semifinal. If they were drawn on the opposite side of the bracket, you could have had an all English final, which would have helped the coefficient even more. But
Sure,
to your point, it
but
doesn't sound like it matters.
Liverpool's winning the Europa League. Like, let's be real.
It's
Like,
possible, certainly
I
possible.
it's a strong possibility. It's gonna be Liverpool versus Leverkusen in the final.
Don't count my boy Jacques out.
I'm just putting it out there for the battle for Liverpool manager. So that helps the coefficient. West Ham are playing well. Um, I think Brighton is in the Conference League
Didn't Brighton
still.
get knocked out?
I don't know. I haven't concerned myself with the Conference League,
Same.
until we get 8th, and then I'll concern myself with the Conference League and tell you how it's the best league in the world because we're playing against the Ukrainian national champions or something like that. I don't know.
All right, Conference League. Yeah, Aston Villa are still in the Conference League.
That's what it is. Okay.
Brighton are not. Europa League, we've got West Ham, Liverpool still in the Europa League. So we
And I
got
don't think
we got
oh,
five.
and Italy's not in the Champions League anymore, right?
Not since Inter got knocked out. Yeah, so
Yeah, so that's what turned the tide for us getting into it.
yeah,
Like, that's why the coefficient's gonna flip.
we still got
Um,
Atalanta and Roma and Milan in the Europa League. So there's three teams there, and then in the Conference League in Italy, you've got Fiorentina, and that's it. So
yeah.
yeah, but Champions League coefficient is so much more than Europa League.
Yep. So, I
Okay, so
mean,
you
yes,
think the
I still
battle's
think it's
fit?
a 3 horse I still think it's a 3 I don't think you're wrong with a 3 horse race between Villa, Tottenham, I mean, maybe United if they win their game in hand, that they could be there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's yeah, that would be really
I think
intriguing if
we'll
Villa gets
have
it.
you know what? I think we play all 3 of those teams still. Villa, Tottenham, United, so we will have a big say
Oh yeah,
in who gets that 5th spot.
Chelsea have an unenviable run in here at the end of the season. Like you guys have a
Our
lot of
last 2 games are fine, but besides that, it's oof.
it is yeah, rough for you guys.
We got I mean, we have Villa,
Tough.
United,
Tough.
Arsenal,
Tough.
Spurs left to play.
Tough. Those are four tough games.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I know
Um,
at least Arsenal is away, where you guys have not had a good got not had a good couple of
correct.
years away at the Emirates.
Brighton is away and Spurs are at
Tough.
home. United is at home,
Okay.
which we haven't lost since like October.
At home?
Yeah.
Oh, impressive.
Mhm. Um, so like that's a lie. We lost in February. Sheesh. We've lost once at home.
All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Either way, I'm expecting firmer results. I
You
forgot about
you
Wolves.
know you know where Chelsea didn't lose this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
was at home in the FA Cup.
Yes. We tried to. We
Tell me
should
about it.
try to
Tell me
lose
about it,
this
Brent.
game. That first half was awesome. It was what you would expect of Chelsea playing, the championship number 1 team, right? Like, it wasn't like Leicester was completely shut out, of that first half, but they didn't really have that many great chances. Um, and we were controlling the game. It should have been put away. I don't know why Sterling took the penalty. I missed that part of the game. I was in church. So I missed the Sterling penalty. I saw he got the penalty, so okay, cool. Maybe you want to take your penalty that you got, but like Palmer hasn't missed yet. Give him the damn ball.
Yeah, it's weird. You have a penalty taker at your club. Like
I don't know. I don't know if
respect it.
Potch is. I don't know if Potch is 100% said Palmer's the penalty taker. Um,
Who's the captain on the field?
at the time was Connor Gallagher
Yeah, Conor Gallagher should have gone and taken
taking
the
the
ball
ball
and
and
given
giving
it
it
to
to yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cole Palmer.
Maybe he's trying to get Sterling's confidence up because it's kind of been in the crapper.
Yeah, I mean, you saw
Now
that.
it's even worse.
You saw that with Arsenal,
Yeah.
and Kai Havertz early in the season, where they
Yep.
got him a penalty, and now Havertz has scored a number of really important goals for Arsenal, and his
Yeah.
confidence definitely improved after getting that penalty. I think it was like October, something like that.
So if that's the case, cool.
But you got to
And
score it.
we were still in, correct,
You got to score it.
and we were still in, or at least like put some effort into it.
Nah, you got to score
Probably
it.
rolled it.
You're Raheem Sterling. You've been
Like,
playing professional football for damn near 10 years. Like you got to score that.
yeah, no, yeah, he should have banged that, but it is what we were still winning 2-0.
Yeah.
So okay. And then Mr. Disaster gets a nudge and scores a brilliant own goal
That was a shot.
from the halfway line.
I don't know what he was doing. Like I don't think the nudge
I
really
don't
put him off that much. That
No,
was
that ball hit dead center.
that was an awful pass back. Like
Terrible.
even without the nudge, I'm pretty sure he would have put Petrovic into a
No, it wasn't
precarious.
Petrovic.
Oh,
It was
was it?
Sanchez. It
Oh
was
well.
Sanchez.
Oh man, fall from grace. It would have put Sanchez in a precarious place, regardless. Even without the nudge, it was an awful
Yep.
pass. It was an awful.
And that's all Leicester needed to get back into this game. And then Homie had that awesome, like, Sanchez had no shot at either
Well, yeah, the first one is the own
shot.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah, the second goal he had no shot at getting to. Maybe I think Petrovic might be a couple inches taller, so maybe he gets there. Um, and I'm just not comfortable with Sanchez on the ball. But like I get it. It's the FA Cup. We should be winning this game. Get Sanchez back some minutes. Um, then we had brought on 2 players and they got 2 goals at like the 90th plus time. Uh,
you were saying you're very pleased with Pochettino's substitutes,
I
right?
was. I was. So there has been, I mean, look, Chelsea Twitter abolishes everything. They It's toxic on everything. But one of the main complaints that the fan base has had with Poch is these subs don't make sense. Why are these the subs? I think these subs were well timed. I think they were the right players. Um, Clearly because Noni and Chooks both scored. So like
Yeah,
they both got goals.
hindsight. Yeah,
Um, I would have preferred to take Sterling off first over Mudryk because Mudryk was having a good game. Oh, that was the other thing Sterling did besides his field goal attempt that went. Bro, I saw a video, like a reel on Instagram from that side.
yeah, yeah.
Like when I
It's
tell you it was over there, like that thing went outside of the bridge. Like it may have gotten to the second level.
It didn't quite get to the
It
second
was
level, but it was bad.
close.
It was bad. Yeah, it was probably like 25 or 30 rows deep.
Homie does this full on sprint too, and then just launches it. It's like, what are you doing? Um, the Leicester players face when the ref came over and was like, no yellow. The guy was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, it's a red. I thought that was comical. Mainly because it wasn't a Chelsea thing. Good call on the field. Good job by VAR because we bashed VAR. They got this one right. It was not a penalty. It was a red card.
FA Cup VAR over EPL VAR.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a major difference, but
No.
we'll
That
we'll
Noni
say
goal
it.
was dope. It was a deflection, but that Maduka goal at the end was phenomenally taken.
Good.
Right over the goalie.
So you're
Um,
obviously very very pleased.
yes. Stressed, but
Okay.
pleased. The second half was stressful, but
Um,
pleased at the overall result.
Elsewhere, Manchester City dog walked Newcastle.
Yep.
Newcastle were coming to play a close game, close it off, and City scores 2 goals, 2 deflected goals. I think Joel was quite displeased, and he turned it off early, is what it sounds like. And then big ups to
Let's
Coventry City.
go.
Coventry City get the upset win over Wolves. Now, what's crazy about this game is there were like 4 goals or something like that in like the last 10 or 15 minutes. It was insane.
Yep.
Um, so Coventry are winning 1-0 deep into the second half. Wolves equalize and then get a gift of a goal to go up. An
A
absolute
great.
gift. Um, and you're just like, okay, well, the Premier League team has got the lead. They are going to just see this out. But Coventry kept going. They kept pressing. They kept playing their football, and they get an equalizer. And then 2 minutes later, get a winner in the 90th plus 10th
90,
minute or whatever. Yeah, it's like the
100th minute.
100th
Yeah.
minute of football. Um,
Taji Wright,
yeah,
American boy.
your
Let's
boy,
go.
your boy, not my boy, your boy.
He's an American boy.
Um, but yeah,
American boy.
yeah,
It's a
sing it,
song.
Brad.
Sorry.
Don't get us flagged.
That's
But
why I was
so
only like 3 seconds.
so big ups to Coventry. So that
Yes.
sets up semifinals at Wembley. We've got Manchester City and Chelsea,
Yay for the fourth time in a row.
and then Coventry are playing Manchester United because Manchester United beat Liverpool in a 7-goal thriller at Old Trafford. This game was wild. And this is the FA Cup for you, is that neither team wanted to lose. It seemed like there for a minute that neither team wanted to win either. But United go up early in the first half. Liverpool get 2 goals, the second goal right at the death of the first half. So you're like, okay, they're just going to win it. But who does Eric Ten Hag turn to when he needs a goal? Deep in the game. He needs
You know,
somebody off the bench.
Ronaldo.
No. He's in Saudi Arabia. Pick someone else.
My bad, my bad. Um, um,
Think Brazilian.
Oh, so it's not Garnacho.
No. Think Brazilian, Brad.
Brazilian. Anthony
Anthony
are
gets the
are
equalizer.
spinning
Yes.
down the sidelines.
And it's funny because his goal, he kind of spun to score his goal as well. It
No.
wasn't quite the same, but on his right foot too. So
Wow.
Anthony scores his, uh, uh,
Second goal.
I believe this is correct, his second goal of the season
I think it's his second goal.
in March.
Yes.
I'm glad he costs Manchester United 100
Wow.
million euros. Um, that to me is the most comical aspect of this. Liverpool then took the lead through Harvey Elliott about 15 minutes into extra time, and then gave up 2 garbage goals at the end of the game. To like Darwin Nunez squared the ball directly to Scott McTominay in their own attacking in Liverpool's defensive third, so United's attacking third. Darwin Nunez on the wing squares the ball. McTominay just picks it up and plays one pass, and Rashford is directly in on goal and is able to slot it past Kelleher, who had no chance. That equalizes, and then Liverpool have a corner, and United score on the counterattack. Harvey Elliott kind of trips a little bit and probably should have defended better, but it is what it is. And United are through. They
Wow.
are into the semifinals against Coventry. So we may have another all Manchester final at Wembley.
Nope.
Oh no,
Nope.
no.
Oh, it's gonna be a Chelsea Manchester United derby. It's 100% gonna be a Chelsea versus Man United. Yeah,
The
yeah.
only way, I mean, obviously, this is the problem here is that I have to root for Coventry here. Um, I don't know the order in which I think I'm rooting for Coventry, and then if it's not Coventry, I will begrudgingly I'll accept City.
So City plays Real 3 days before.
I mean, I don't really care about all that. I just Manchester City, Chelsea, and
I
Manchester
know,
United
you're not gonna cheer for Chelsea. You're not
are the
like,
three teams I hate the most in England.
so how is your let's see this rankings.
Oh, it's
Who is the most hated team?
Chelsea,
Okay, second
without a
most hated
strategy.
team?
Manchester United, and
Oh,
then
so you're cheering for City in
and
this.
then City. So
So
like,
even if Chelsea beat City, you're still cheering for United in the final?
unfortunately, I have to.
Wow.
I mean, I think I'm actually hoping for Bane to just implode the pitch. Um, rooting for Bane.
Wow.
That's who I root for when I don't want anyone to win. Um,
Bane.
Bane. Okay. One quick note for loyal listeners: you guys will notice last week we didn't give you guys the result of the bonus match from Match Week 28, the Bournemouth Luton Town game that took place Wednesday last. It's because the game hadn't taken place when we recorded the podcast, so it's here now. We have since updated the results on our spreadsheet. So we have a quick update. Sean, Joel, and Jimmy all receive an additional point from last week's podcast. They adroitly selected Bournemouth to win this game. And can I just say,
That was
Luton
a
Town
great game.
Luton Town deserved to get relegated. They were up
Yes.
3-0 at halftime and lose the game 4-3.
Yes.
You get out of my league.
Great
Like
game. Fun game.
if you go to the kennel, you're gonna get dog walked. So take your kennel and your road back down to the championship. Okay, so we not everyone sent their picks in this week, which is understandable. You know, things happen. We did get the three of us, obviously, and Joel. So the person with the most correct results, or should we go? We should go backwards. So the person with the least number of correct results. Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
Who got the
Yeah.
most wrong?
Yeah.
We had 8 picks. This person got 25% right. He got two correct picks. That was Sean Stradamus.
Dang.
Sean Stradamus with 2 correct picks.
I think I
Um,
messed him up on the FA Cup stuff. That's my fault.
maybe he picked that begrudgingly. So now
He did.
In Sean's defense, he initially picked Coventry to beat Wolves, and then his head told him that was an idiotic choice, and so he switched it back to Wolves. Had he kept that, he would have had another point and would have been equal with Brad and Joel on 3 picks correct. Um, Brad, you got Chelsea, City, and Burnley correct. Um,
Yes.
Joel got Chelsea, City, and Coventry correct. Joel was the only person to pick Coventry. So all of Joel's correct picks were in the FA Cup.
Wow.
Um,
Man,
now,
I really did want to take Fulham on that draw too. I just
well, yeah, uh,
oh well. It is
I
what it is.
I led the way with 4 correct. I was correct with City, Manchester United, huh? A draw in the Luton Forest game and a draw in the Aston Villa West Ham game. I was the only one who picked United in that match, and you guys all laughed at me last week
You
for
did.
picking it. So, do you have anything to?
Who saw McTominay getting a goal?
Me.
Not me. Not
He
me.
has scored a number of goals for Manchester United this year. All right.
And they're all big goals too.
Yeah. Quick update on the league table, let's say. So we have a bit of a gap is starting to form between the leaders and the mid table, the midfield, let's say. Brad is of people who have picked all weeks. Brad, you are at the head of the midfield with 25 correct picks.
Yes.
Leading the way are Sean and Joel with 29 correct points, and I am just one behind at 28 correct picks. So,
I'm gonna
couple.
have a big week. I'm gonna tell you when this international break is done,
All
I'm
right.
hunting you down.
All right. Well, we will see if you can regain the attack at the top. Um, Timsy, Jimmy, and Chap pick up no points because they didn't make any selections this week. But
Nope.
you, loyal listeners, don't have any picks this week because there's no games this weekend because it's the international break. So I would tell you should enjoy some football this weekend, but maybe you'll be stuck watching MLS and or international friendlies because these we've already qualified for the Euros. We've like this is the waste of time international break in my opinion.
This this should have been the so MLS is on Apple TV now for those that don't know. Free
Yep.
plug. Um, Last week
Yep.
was their free week. It
Yep.
should have been this weekend.
Yep.
Man, that's an L, Apple. That's an L, MLS.
I think they did it
'Cause people are gonna be
intentionally.
wonky for soccer. Oh,
They
yeah,
did.
so that way you buy it this week.
I still think that
It's not the right price.
I still think that they should allow the local TV stations to carry local matches.
Yes.
I would like to see.
Yes.
I would like to watch DC United on Masson, please. Well, okay. Let me walk that back slightly. I would occasionally watch DC United if there was nothing else that I wanted to be watching on Masson. Not that I'm actively hoping to watch DC United at any level, but I would watch them if there was nothing else on. Um, that's that's all we've got. That was a pretentious thing for me to say, but it's just the truth. That's all we got for you guys
MLS
today.
ball.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. Hit us up on Twitter. Join our Discord. That is in the description of this video or podcast below. Hit us up on Twitter. That guy is at KSBradG. He's over there in the window orientation if you're watching on YouTube. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at redcard_radio. And of course, Sean, who is not with us, but you can send him your Fulham memes at whiteheart_Sean. He would love it, would make him feel so much better if you have memes. But until then, maybe enjoy some football this week. Maybe just go outside, be with your family this weekend, and we will be
Yeah.
back. We'll be back next week. Also, only one episode next week, and we will be doing predict. We're picking games in a week. So we will see you guys then. Until then, have a good one. We will speak to you soon.